Hello. Hello. No oranges this time. I do not have an orange to mess around with while I stream. But anyway, we're gonna go fast. I feel like it's time for some more speed. I feel like we need some more speed. So we're gonna go officially get some more speed. We're going to obtain as much speed as I can, and we are going to do a bunch of speed. I hope everyone enjoys this speed simulator, and let's dig right into the speed. Let's go fast. Let's zoom. Let's get some zooms going. Can I get some zooms? Let's get some zooms.
Our margins are looking good right now. I think we've got room for some more investment.
Renew the sponsors. Okay, making sure it's still working. I thought I renegotiated the contract. I guess I didn't. Hold on a second. Just plugged in enough. Oh, no. That's not what I wanted to see. What did I do? Completely on my end. I can't tell if the frames are bad. Huh. Give me 1 second. Hello, my one viewer. Okay. And I'm back to it. This is Romain Grosjean. We're going to give him $8.4 million. He signed. We extended his contract because I like to keep Romain Grosjean. Activities. First of all, with the facilities. Okay, they're back online. I shut down one of them. Hi, Kevin. You want to watch me get some zooms? Activities management. Insufficient funds. Oof. That is quite alright. R&D tree. We have quite a bit. I recommended upgrade.
I recommend we could go for something like this.
Sounds pretty good to me. And I'll take that too. 22nd of July. Okay. Activities. We will start off with a funded team event. We'll do some second driver press tour. And then nothing. High cash balance. That was intended. Now we're down to 3.18 million anyway. Is there anything else I needed to do? What about the vehicle? Any of these going out? Overall, we're already at 3 on the MG UK. The ICE looks okay. Control electronics look okay. Which one's a concern? I heard we had to move the energy store. Ah, that's fine. Let us advance time. Blank. Money. Second driver press tour.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through from the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
Oh boy. Silverstone. I'm not a big fan of racing on Silverstone. It's tough. Bless you. It's tough. Commanders. Like qualifying. That's a lie. It's all dry in Britain. In Great Britain. No rain. No rain whatsoever. That's a lie. Gearbox. Did I take a penalty? Yes, I would like to order a new gearbox. Okay, it's fitted 6 of 9. 122 laps. I don't think I actually will do the thing I was looking for just yet. But let's go. Who's ready to obtain a zoom? A zoom or two. Okay.
We're going to be logging some extra data during this session. Nothing you need to worry about, but as we have some new parts, we'll just confirm they're performing to spec.
Logging some
Okay, the
extra
track is
data.
green right
Always
now,
logging
so
some
take a
extra
few laps to
data.
get the tyres up
What
to
I pay you to
temperature.
do.
Try and feel your way around.
Let me know if the engine noise is too loud. Can you hear me? Okay, over the engine noise. I forgot to change that one setting I was looking to change earlier. I cannot do this track on this setting. Yes, engine noise is too loud? Okay. No, we want to hear Jeff. We always want to hear Jeff. Better? Whoa. 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 Okay, good. Glad that it's better. Thanks, Jamie. Now we can focus on the zoom. While I hopelessly slide along the track. Slide around. Whoa. got distracted because one of my beard hairs got caught in my hoodie. Silverstone Grand Prix, the British Grand Prix. One of the most popular Grand Prix because Great Britain is a big Formula One country. You watched Formula One last year. This is the site where Hamilton accidentally sent Verstappen into the wall at a very high-speed crash. Very controversial crash, as all the Verstappen fans are saying, oh, he did it on purpose.
Okay, super job so far. We're getting great data. Stay focused.
No, Jeffo, not stay focused. And continuing on to my point, the stewards ruled that the accident was a racing incident, and when you're going at that high speed, high speed, it's kind of like, it's hard to say. Like, Hamilton could have been in the wrong. Like, you can argue it for sure, but you can't say it was intentional. Like, all the replays, I'm watching all the replays. One thing that just doesn't sit well with me was the fact that he was, like, driving around with a British flag, like, waving it all around, even though he accidentally, quote, in possible quotes, accidentally took out his main title competitor during that. So, very controversial accident. I remember I was actually in Oregon at the time. I had gotten up, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning just to watch the race. And then it happens in like the first lap, and I'm like, oh my god! And Dad was like going back to bed because it was like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Great lap. You've nailed what we asked for. Keep it up.
Thanks, Jeff. New objective score 50 points or higher. Who's this in front of me? Oh, it's Bottas. Speaking of Mercedes, it's Battery Bottas. Valtteri could have won a couple more races than he should have. I like him as a driver. I'm running all over the road because I always have trouble in that spot in Silverstone. Come back here, Bottas.
Okay, super job so far. We're getting great data. Stay focused.
Yikes. Too far. Yikes, too far. Okay, keeping it in line. Keeping it on the racing line. I mean, if you ever wondered what this light green and yellow and red like boxes I'm racing over, that's technically called the racing line. Of course, like the Formula One racers don't have this, but it's essentially showing what the quickest way around the track is. I should have braked later. This chicane is just awful. Awful, awful chicane. And there's this chicane too, which is also awful. Oops, you can see the track limits.
Great lap. You've nailed what we asked for. Keep it up.
Yikes, very wide. But yeah, I want that enabled. Who's that moving aside? Oh hey, it's my teammate. Hi Romain Grosjean. I just gave you $8.4 million. Hope you like it. Please get out of my way. Jesus, these turns. I don't like him. Grosjean's still right behind me. Okay, all done.
Test complete, and that was a very good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that.
Yay, I'm glad. You're welcome, Jeff. Glad I could help. Even though I own this team. Hello again, Bottas.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
I'm aware, Jeff.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
Almost an accident, but no, not quite. Oof, he really sped off ahead of me in here.
Box this lap, please. Box this lap.
Box this lap, please. Box this lap. I will be boxing, Jeff. Don't you worry. Okay, I'm gonna run and grab my water bottle. I'll be right back. No, I don't need to. Okay, right here.
When driving with the pit assist disabled, you'll need to be mindful of your speed when entering the pit lane. If you...
What are we gonna do to exceptions? It's set up. Everything's pretty low on this. This game is very graphics intensive, and my computer doesn't exactly have the best graphic card, so I'm also playing. This game is a 2021 game. I'm playing it on a 2014 computer, so it's gonna hurt a little bit to watch. If I get Formula 2021, I'm probably going to get it on a console. Because I play with a PS4 controller anyway. Look at that. Our lap time Pretty decent. Third was the fastest. This is the setting that I needed to change. What is Verstappen doing? Who else is out there? Daniel Kvyat. Valtteri Bottas. We'll accelerate time a little bit. We will do fuel management next. No, ERS management. Okay. Oh, hold on. Busy. Still busy. Okay, we'll go out. And drive out.
All complete. Mechanics, please stand clear. We're ready to go.
Get our second attempt at zooms. Verstappen somehow got a quicker track time than I did. How is that possible? De Vries. Vries is racing for... I forgot who is it, Williams? I think it is Williams. Yeah, it's gotta be Williams. Not Haas. Oh! Ah! I ran into the back of him. Oh yeah, I didn't really damage my front wing, that's good. Fun fact, Nick De Vries is not a Formula 1 driver. Do you know what he races for? Anyone? Anyone? Yeah. Okay. He races for Formula E. Mercedes Formula E team. It's basically Formula 1 but electric cars. But it's a whole different racing format. Nick De Vries has won back-to-back titles in Formula E, though, and is highly chosen as highly rumored to be like one of Wolff's favorites, one of Wolff's prospects, Toto Wolff's. You know, I just passed, and makes sense in this game why he's driving a Williams, because Williams is one of Mercedes' power unit customers. So the power unit they drive is a Mercedes. On my vehicle, I too am racing a Mercedes. So I started out the season with a Renault, and now I've got a Mercedes. No, not the season. Last season I did a Renault, so it was the cheapest. And I won the WDC, and I got a lot of money. So. We'll go right there. Target time 1:33.122. Let's see where we get off. 198, 12th place there. I feel like that's a pretty good lap. Let's see where we land.
Program complete and a job well done.
A 1:30.483. We did.
So
We got
come
first.
on back to the garage and I can talk you through the numbers.
We got fastest lap. Can I do even quicker? Maybe, we'll see. Starting to get used to the track more so. Also in this setting I feel a lot more grippy, so we're doing a lot better than
There's
that last
3 laps of fuel
session.
remaining.
Three laps of fuel remaining. I could do it. Anybody think I could get a 129? That would be dope. Fastest time on Sector 2. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. I got second on the speed trap. Here we go, bringing it home. A 129.497. Alright. That's a really fast time. And then we will head into the garage.
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Play my ERS again. Oh, going wide. Use a bit more of the energy. And skirt wide. Okay. Okay. Session's over.
It's time to remind ourselves of our top 3, who are Schumacher, Verstappen and Alexander Albon. Sadly, it's time to say goodbye as free practice is over. However, we'll be back shortly for more Formula One action.
Okay. We got the Red Bulls up here and the Mercedes are back in the midfield. Curious. Did you win? No, we haven't raced yet. You got the fastest lap though. I think today I'm going to do the Silverstone Grand Prix and then I'm going to do a little bit of multiplayer. Show you how rough those games get. I once had one guy annoying the crap out of me. He kept like, in the session, he would like take bits off of my car. He was always kind of aggressive. You know, one time, I just did a beautifully executed like swerve, correctly timed swerve, that hit him enough to send him flying into the wall, and ruined his race. Okay. We are going to do track acclimatization. And we will start on the drive out.
A bit like a rubber out on track. Try to take it easy for a couple of laps.
Look how bright and sunny it is. Moving out in front of me. There's somebody who managed to get out in front of me. It's a Ferrari. I am very wide on that turn. Which Ferrari is it? Try and catch up to the Ferrari, I guess. If I can. He got a pretty good head start ahead of me. Track acclimatization. Basically, it's supposed to get through the gates. If I miss them, they go red. Supposed to test how well I know the track. Probably not going to be great.
Approaching the DRS zone.
As I
Watch your
show,
MFD
as I
for the
demonstrate.
activation point.
It also helps me identify the corners I have the most trouble with. Obviously. Gates measure pretty much three things. Placement of your vehicle, angle of what you're going in at, and how fast you're going through that gate. If I completely mess something up, it'll go as red. If I hit it perfectly, it'll show purple. And if I hit it good, it's green. 194.5. It's very low on the on the speed trap there.
Good work. You seem to have a solid handle on the lap. Let's try and perfect each turn. Remember that chaining good corners together will give you a consistency bonus.
Jeff, I don't know if I should really call that a good handle on the track. It was still sliding all over the place. Yike. I missed. No. Almost missed. Got that one pretty near perfect though. Pert near perfect. We're 94.7. I bumped up 0.2 miles per hour there. Hey, this is a pretty good lap.
This is the last lap of the program, final lap of the program.
There's a Renault ahead of me. Which Renault is this? Esteban Ocon. Not realizing there was a pretty big shakeup in the whole driver's grid once between 2020 to 2021. Even getting ahead of Ocon. Goodbye, Ocon. Esteban Ocon stayed with Renault. They turned into Alpine. During this year in 2020, his teammate was Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo moved to McLaren. He was replacing Sainz. Sainz was moving over to Ferrari to replace Sebastian Vettel. Sebastian Vettel moved over to Racing Point, which were the pink cars, and they rebranded to become Aston Martin, and they changed all their colors to green. Lance Stroll stayed at Racing Point, now Aston Martin. Who would have left to get Alonso on the grid? So Alonso's not on here. Of course, both the Haas drivers, Kevin Magnussen and Romain Grosjean, they parted ways with them. Romain Grosjean went on to do IndyCar. Kevin Magnussen went to do...
Nearly out of fuel, almost out of fuel.
Unboxing Jeff, you're interrupting me. Yeah, Kevin Magnussen went to do the WEC, which is the World Endurance Championship.
Come in this lap, please. Box this lap.
Oh my god, Jeff. But however, they brought in 2 rookies for 2021. That would have been Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher. Nikita Mazepin is a Russian, and due to, of course, the Ukraine war, or the Ukraine invasion, Mazepin lost his funding because of the sanctions, and therefore Haas decided to terminate his contract. And replacing Mazepin, they brought back Kevin Magnussen. So Kevin Magnussen is racing for Haas this year, which would be great. Who else is different? At Williams, you had Russell and Latifi. 2020 Renault, you had Ricciardo and Ocon. Another team I'm missing. Ferrari had Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc. Oh yes, 2020 they had AlphaTauri had Daniel Kvyat and Pierre Gasly. They decided to go with the new rookie instead of Daniel Kvyat. They brought on Yuki Tsunoda. Who else?
I know it's tempting to focus entirely on the race, but we should put a bit of time aside to run the qualifying sim program. Try to run it before the end of FP3 if you can.
Jeff, I'm not even focusing on the race. Who left to give Alonso the seat? It was Raikkonen and Giovinazzi and Alfa Romeo.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1:31.0.
Am I just outright missing a team? Mercedes, Valtteri Bottas, and oh, yeah. Okay, so Alex Albon was racing in 2020, but he was dropped in order for Red Bull to get Sergio Perez from Racing Point, and ultimately that trade-off.
If you want to know specific information or make certain changes to the car during a pit stop, you can tell me what you want over the radio.
Talking here.
Press and hold the radio button to activate the system, and you can either speak the command or select it manually from the radio screen that will appear on the multifunction display. While the radio is active, cycle through command groups with the MFD button.
Okay, so yeah. Alex Albon was sacrificed so that in some form or another for Fernando Alonso to come back. And if you didn't know who Fernando Alonso was, he is a two-time WC for Formula One. Back in... Let me see if I can get this right off the top of my head. I want to say 2005 and 2006.
Be wary of the tight section at turns 3 and 4.
Did I get it right?
Village and
Let's
the
see.
loop. Be willing to sacrifice some speed on the exit of 3 to get the best entry you can into 4. It's a late apex, and be absolutely careful to minimize wheel spin on the exit, as it's then a long run through Aintree and down the Wellington Straight.
I was right. It is 2005, 2006. Look at me. I got my history down. Okay.
We're 10th in the speed trap, 195.6 miles per hour.
Jeez, Jeff, you're really talkative. I already got all the team objectives. Chain 5 corners, car setup. Lead a lap with at least 2 different car setups during the practice section. Complete a full lap using minimal fuel. Consistent set 3 consecutive fast laps. Drive a whole lap without leaving the track. Oh yeah. I'm just gonna skip ahead of this session to the end. I only do like a couple of the practice programs because I don't want to wear out the car too much. I made the mistake doing that my first season of, I think it was with the solo players. Oh, I didn't even check to see if the grids changed any. Driver grid.
The session has drawn to a close, so let's review our top 3. Vettel, Grosjean and Valtteri Bottas. What an incredible practice session. The fun doesn't stop here though. Join us again as the rest of the weekend unfolds.
Okay, so our driver grid has not changed. Everybody still looks the same from the beginning of this season. Actually, from last season, really. I did a big shake-up by recruiting, by getting Romain Grosjean. I sent George Russell from Williams up to Haas. I also got Kevin Magnussen at Haas. Where is he? Oh, I only got like 5. Oh, Romain Grosjean got better than I did. Hell yeah, Romain Grosjean. That's the second fastest lap. That's my boy. Sebastian Vettel got first. Wow, I got 5th. Alright, where was Magnussen? Magnussen's 17th. So, oh yeah, Magnussen with Alfa Romeo, and then Haas got Jordan King pulled up from I'm not sure what he races at. Williams has Nick DeVries and Nicholas TV. We will advance. Back to session 3. Do the qualifying pace.
Don't push the car just yet. Track is still green. Try and take it easy for the first couple of laps.
Track is still green. Qualifying session here, or not the qualifying session, the qualifying pace is basically the objective of qualifying is to get the fastest lap so that you would start at the top of the grid. Basically, the lineup for the start of the race is determined the day before by a series of sessions where you compete to get the fastest lap. Fastest lap at the end of Q3 is on pole position, which is the first position. So this session is to try to go as fast as I can. I'm missing a beat. I'm not doing the lap just yet, so I'm kind of all over the place, but I will go silent when I start the lap, which is very soon. Here's the pit entrance. Slow down here for this last final chicane. And I'm about to cross the line and I have to sneeze. Of course I do. Alright. 3. Here we go.
Okay, test complete, and that was a very good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that.
Yeah, it wasn't really a great lap. I'm gonna try it again.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
There's a lot more I could have done. I was a little slippy in some parts. And kind of going wide in a couple of key turns that I shouldn't have been. So we will try that again because it's like another 2 or 3 laps. No biggie. Well, we have to go back to the pit first.
Fuel is marginal. Box within 2 laps.
I am aware there, Jeff. Yikes. Yeah, especially here. I need to clean it up here on this chicane. I'm always going wild.
Box this lap, please. Box this lap.
.201.2. Pretty good. Not enough to stay first, but it's pretty decent. We're gonna try doing that qualifying pace session again. So we got a 129.75. We gotta beat that. Good.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1 minute 29.7.
I'm gonna do it on a flying lap. It's gonna save some time.
Don't worry about tyres, just give it everything. In this test, we want to make sure we can lap close to our rival's pace.
A little wide again. Another key thing to note about the qualifying pace and qualifying sessions in general is that you start with very low fuel and you are on the softest compound tires in order to maximize the grip and add the least amount of weight so you could get the most amount of speed. Well, that was a very good lap.
Program complete and a job well done.
Very, very good lap.
Excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can talk you through the numbers.
Got a 128 there. Very, very good. Now we just accelerate time and finish out session 3. Now all I gotta do is repeat that for the next session, which will be the qualifying.
And with all the cars now over the line, let's see our top 3 again. Schumacher, Hamilton, and Charles Leclerc. And if
Hamilton's
today's
right up
practice
there
is
with me
anything to
again.
go by, we're in for an exceptional weekend of Formula One.
Romain Grosjean down at 11. And we're ready to go. We're ready for this qualifying session. Who's ready for a qualifying session?
Good day today.
After we talk to these reporters. Good day today.
You really went all out in practice today. Are you testing new components?
I don't even remember what. I think that's the best one. Or is maximize time
How
on
do you
track.
feel about this team's performance this season? Appreciate your time.
Appreciate your time. Just me and Romain Grosjean. Say just a couple of things to talk about on Silverstone. I know you've driven here plenty of times before in other categories. First of all, be brave into maggots and beckets, but don't cut. You have enough downforce to stay flat through much of that complex, but you need to stay in contact with the asphalt to actually use that grip. Secondly, the pit lane is a slow speed limit and the line is very early. Don't go getting yourself penalized. Jeff, the one thing, when you say maggots and beckets, I know you're referring to sections of the track, but I have no fucking clue where those are. You can also tell me any turn number, and I have no idea. Anyway, let's get this qualifying session underway. Who's ready for speed? Who here has a need for speed? Formula One Pirelli British Grand Prix. Silverstone. Did I put the one in my car? Yeah, really? I thought I only kept it at the 24. I guess I did. Yeah, I guess I did put the one on my car. Okay. Oh, I pressed flying lap. Oh, that's a no-no for me. That is a no-no for me.
Everyone ready?
This is what I wanted.
Okay, let's go.
It gives me a chance to come out in front, maybe. There's always might be somebody in front of me. Ah, rude. This dang AlphaTauri. Gasly. Haha. Go around the outside. Let's get a little racy, Gasly. Haha, I won. Another thing to notice that I said earlier that I put the one on my car. So it is a Formula One tradition that the world champion has the option to put the number 1 on their vehicle, but they only get it for the season immediately following the one they won. Lewis Hamilton, I think, in the last couple of years has declined to do that, but Max Verstappen this year has elected to do so. See the number 1 car? That's Max Verstappen. Go flat out through there. Oops. Almost went wide there. Almost spun there, jeez. A 127.7.
Lap so far. Well done.
That's the fastest lap I've ever set on this track. Woohoo!
Right, coming at the end of this lap.
127.7 is quite hard to beat with these AI, so I think I might have solidly put myself in the lead. So, provisional pole. Provisional pole it is. Way off the track there, but that's fine. Way off the track there, but that's also fine. And now we go sit in the garage. Provisional pole. Yeah, we're losing a couple frame rates here. Couple frames. But I think Gasly's coming in behind me. Session info. Let me see what numbers are. No, I can't.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1:27.7.
Somebody got 128.6. That should Vettel. Also a pretty fast lap. 128.4 there. No one has quite beat my record on sectors yet, which is a very good sign. Someone possibly beat my sector record on S3. We won't know.
With qualifying finished, it's
And
time
that's
to
pole.
remind ourselves of our top three: Schumacher, Hamilton, and Sebastian Vettel. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
All right. Pole position.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. It made it look easy.
I haven't heard her say
Great
that yet.
qualifying session. Are you feeling safer ahead of the pack?
Definitely less to worry about, which keeps the team happy.
What was the secret of your qualifying pace?
Having a great team who work tirelessly to get the best out of the car.
Appreciate your time.
Lewis Hamilton is my quote-unquote rival right now. Gonna cycle through rivals each season. Jimmy got me pretty good there too.
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
You're prepared as best as you can, but the rest is up to you. Get out there and do what you do best. Monitoring your data closely from the pit. Well, as always, if you need specific information, just go on the radio button and ask. Okay, see you in park for me. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, and then when I get back, it is race time. So, ERB. I have returned. Hello, hello. I have a popsicle. That's why it took me a little longer. Give me a second. Actually, give me a couple minutes. It's going to take me a little bit to eat this popsicle. Take a look. Rivalries 1676. Races remain 5. Oh, there's a specific rivalry. I was like, there's way more than 5 races in the remainder of this season. Because I haven't even gotten to Spa-Francorchamps. I haven't even gotten to the Netherlands or Japan or Russia or Turkey. Drivers' Championships 1, Constructor Championships 0, Pole Positions 23, Total points 748. Race wins 25. Podium finishes 29. Average finish 2. Average grid 2. Miles driven 4361. Fastest laps 31. Laps driven 1107. Oh, okay, so I did take number 1 for my for the driver for the car. We need to do better on the aerodynamics there. Kind of falling behind. Also on the chassis. But it looks like we are currently the third, best team in vehicle performance comparisons, which is good. Already progress. Got a couple of them coming down the pipeline. Progress history. Take a look at that. We're a line that's blending into the into the background. Man, Mercedes didn't make a lot of progress for a while there. We started off way in the back there. I love how I've gotten first every race but Monaco. Monaco I simulated and it put me in ninth. I just have such a hard time with Monaco. So after this... Wait, let's see. Oh, next race is Hungary. That's right. So next race is Hungary. And after that is Belgium, Spa-Francorchamps, as I was saying. Then 37 is Monza. Yeah, Monza. Not Imola, Monza. Or are they the same thing? Are there two? Yeah, there are 2 Italian Grand Prix, I believe. I'm going to double check. Okay, yeah, Imola and Monza are different. So Imola was the second race. So in this game you don't race at Imola. But 37 you race at Monza. And then 38 is Singapore. 39 is Russia. 40 is Japan. 41 is in America. At Austin. 42 is Mexico City. 43 is Brazil in Interlagos. Interlagos? Is it Interlagos? Yeah, Interlagos. And then 44 is Abu Dhabi. Let's see. ICE's taken somewhere. Turbocharger's taken somewhere, so we gotta replace those next race. Gearbox, we got our second practice gearbox in. How many races have we done on this one? We've 5 out of 6 races. Okay. Next one we should get a new event gearbox. Entire allocation for the race. I have soft and a hard. standings right now. I'm currently winning. However, still can't get that constructor cup. Because poor Romain Grosjean's down in 14th. As far as points goes, jeez, Valtteri Bottas is beating Hamilton with over 29 points. I mean, I've got 262, but the season isn't quite over yet, so. Here's the results from season 1. See, in Australia I got first, and Bahrain got first, Vietnam, China, Netherlands got first. Spain I got second. Spain was a little bit of a harder course for me. Monaco I got 5th, which is actually pretty good. I should have raced this year in Monaco. Azerbaijan got first, Canada first, France first, Austria first. Great Britain I got 3rd, because Silverstone for me is normally a harder race to race. And then Hungary got 2nd, Belgium got 1st, Italy 1st, Singapore 2nd, Russia 1st, Japan 16th. Japan's a hard one to race on too. Surprised I got 16th. Oh, I think that's because I started at the very back of the grid. I think I wound up taking a whole bunch of grid penalties because I replaced a bunch of stuff in the car all at the same time. And they're like, we're going to give you a 70 grid place penalty. So it started all the way back in the back, and so got up to 16th. I probably got 4th at UAE. Alright, enough chit-chatting around. Head on and do the race. Take it away,
Welcome
Crofty.
along to Great Britain and the Great Silverstone Circuit for today's Grand Prix. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of the Silverstone Circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. It's been reinvented over the years, with Turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, but the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. And with me, as usual, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk
Drop a
about
bunch of
Schumacher.
frames.
What do you make of their performance so far this season?
It's been a really solid year so far. There have been some incredible standout performances, but what's
That's
really
true.
impressed me has been the consistency. With this kind of form, I'm expecting another great race
Yeah, I
today.
apologize for all the
Let's
lost
run you
frames.
through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Schumacher lines up on pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking at the rest
What
of
happened to
today's grid,
Hamilton?
we have Bottas, Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and Sainz, Norris, Perez, Albon and Romain Grosjean. Kvyat, Hamilton, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Pierre Gasly and Ocon, Ricciardo, Russell, Lance Stroll and Kevin Magnussen. King, Giovinazzi, Latifi and Nick de Vries. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Sebastian Vettel can give me a run for my
After the
money.
points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
It's nice that he's back there. Give me a little bit of a challenge. You'll be doing, yeah, this one. Fuel load, 14 laps. I'm gonna go up to I'm gonna go up to 15. Okay. I have a very good reason for doing that. I'm not sure if anybody's picked up on it, but anybody who plays this game probably picks up on it. But anyway. Go back. Let's start this race. Let's go. Oops. Oh, that sounded like a bunch of accidents back there. Well, doesn't look like it. Everybody's still in the line. Just my tires scuttling about.
All right, we're looking good so far.
I lost my energy deployment. I feel like there's something wrong with the car aerodynamically. I don't feel like I can punch through the air as best as I can on the straights. I'm kind of, looks like I'm kind of porpoising a little bit. Purple sector 1. Green sector 2. And purple sector 3,
You can
1.3.
use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Went a little wide there, oops. Alright, so Vettel is 2.8 behind me. Verstappen 3.1. Oh. I accelerated at a wrong spot right there.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the ICE. Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power.
Wonder if that's what I'm feeling. A little bit of wear. Yikes. Wide fucking turn there. .8. He's kind of catching up to me, I think. Yeah. He is catching up to me.
Power from the engine is going to be down slightly. It's showing some minor wear.
You said that about 10 seconds ago. Ah. Don't need to be mowing the grass there. Oh, now it's dropped down to 3 seconds. Oh, Verstappen got ahead of him somehow. What happened? Sainz in 4th. Bottas in 5th. I'd love to see Merck drop off here. Keep sending them lower and lower in the points. Let me catch up in the Constructors' Cup. I've lost the energy store for the rest of this lap. Wide turn right there. Knew it. Felt it. Knew right when I made that mistake.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
Oh, that was too tight a turn there. Zooming 3.6 now. Verstappen's behind. Vettel is behind 4.3.
Let's use overtake and burn some of this energy.
I am, Jeff, I am. There's a very clean corner there. Verstappen 4. Tight to turn. I just dropped down to 3.8.
We advise moving to mix 2, fuel to mix 2.
Okay, Jeff, I did it. Thank God he told me. I was about to forget. Verstappen at 4.3, Vettel at 5.3. Jesus, I'm on like 6 lap old softs here, and yet I set a purple sector 1. Yikes. Wide turn. Red sector 2 there. Yeah, I felt that one. I felt it in my soul. There was almost a corner cut there.
We're going to box this lap. Push hard on the in-lap.
Here's the neat part. We're not. Not this lap. Verstappen at 5. Vettel at 5.6. I said a purple sector 1 again. Why do I keep doing that? Red sector 2 though. Nope, not going into pit yet. It only surely set us up to be undercut. Lewis Hamilton is out of the session. What happened to him? Verstappen went into pit. So did Vettel, it looks. Signed at 6.3, 6.4.
Hitting this lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap.
This may have been a late pit though. I think I run the risk of being overtook.
Caution, caution.
Hamilton. No Constructor
Green
Cup
flag.
points for you. Alright, pit.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
That should be enough. Yeah. Bottas and Leclerc have pitted. Albon's pitted. A whole bunch of people have pitted. Sainz in first. With Gasly coming up behind me and probably Ricardo. Nope, that's Ocon.
Complete, go now.
Grosjean in 5, he's in the pit. Oh, he did a good job in that pit. Uh-oh.
Okay, stay
Uh-oh.
clear of the white line on the exit. We'll
Please tell me
receive
that's
penalties for
Magnussen.
dangerous driving if you
That's
cross over
Magnussen.
into the
Okay,
track.
good. I was just right there. Who's behind me? Who's behind me? Latifi. Latifi, you're very close. I see Vettel, 4.7. Good. What happened to Verstappen? Coming on the outside for Magnussen. Coming around the outside of Magnussen.
Roman is in for his stop.
Yeah, I already saw that. He was behind me. I kind of took that a little too slow. I don't want to destroy my car, that's the thing, but I'm pretty significantly faster than Magnussen or whoever's in front of him. I think it's Jordan King, yeah, Jordan King. Probably gonna have to dive here. Right about... Okay, no dive. We don't need to dive. Oh, he's coming for the pit, that's right. Okay. Well, I see Gasly and Ocon up ahead in the pit. And first was Sainz. Sainz is exiting. But I will come out in front of Sainz. Quite a distance ahead of Sainz, too.
Our gap behind is 5.0 seconds.
Who is that, too? Vettel? We left the ERS on for that whole time. Oops.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Should be good. 5.8. Verstappen at 6.3. Now Vettel got ahead of Verstappen again. My only hope is for it to remain that way.
The turbocharger is on its last legs. Let's try to keep mileage on it to a minimum. Gap to teammate behind is 16.1 seconds.
Oof. Or Grosjean. 5.7 to Vettel. How are the parts of the engine looking? Not so great. ICEs at 61. No, 63. Let's see again. I think it's just combustion engine. Turbochargers at 62%. It's kind of rough numbers there. Well, that's what we have to work with. 6.3 to Vettel. Oh, fastest lap on 29.9. We're on lap 12 to 13. This means we have 2 laps left to go.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Oh no. We should be okay, I think. We're at a 7.5 gap ahead of Vettel. Green sector 1 and then a red sector 2. Alright, final lap.
This is your final lap of the race. .1 to Vettel. Okay, we can disable ERS for the rest of the race. We're at 7.5. And we're looking good on the fuel mix as well. Should be clear to end. Clear to finish in first. As long as they don't spin out.
Verstappen passed Vettel in the last
You've
minute
done
there.
everything we wanted today.
But we won. We got first. Driver of the day is Lando Norris.
A nearly flawless performance here then, and a commanding victory. What do you think it was, Ants, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
A show-stopping performance from the three drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure.
Come on. Came in first, Verstappen came in second, and Vettel came in third.
Let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings.
Damn it, Grosjean didn't
Schumacher
finish in
increases their
points.
championship lead. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Max Verstappen seemed to just effortlessly weave through the other drivers today without a care in the world. He was definitely my driver of choice. All respect to the fans' choice, they fully deserve it. But I just feel that my pick had a little more on their plate, so their ability to keep a cool head and come through for such a strong finish made the difference, at least in my opinion.
Let's move on to the constructors. The current championship leaders still hold top spot, but that gap is getting smaller. Meanwhile, good work from Racing Point this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
8 points away from Mercedes and the constructors. Coming for you. I'm coming for you. Now, of course, it's important to get the WDC, but WCC is where the most money's at. That's the thing. So, oh, Daniel Ricciardo got fifth. Okay. Oh no, this is standings. Daniel Ricciardo is in fifth. Wait, where's some of the other ones? Bottas in second. Hamilton, Verstappen in third. Hamilton's in fourth. Oof. Ricciardo fifth. Yeah, you can tell, like, up at the top four, we just trade places pretty much. Sebastian Vettel race up to 10th. Robert Grosjean's still in 14th. Everybody below him, this one has 2 points, and everybody below that has 0. It's wild that Ricciardo and Ocon are miles different. Ricciardo's got 79 points. Ocon's got 2. They're teammates. What's going on there? Come on, Ocon. You're a great racer. Anyway, we move on. And now to answer your question, did I win, Kevin? I did win. $1.3 million. Okay. $10 days until Hungarian Grand Prix. 7.4 million in the bank. We're good. We're good. We are good. Okay. Now, we will be doing something A little bit different. If I can get this. Get me out of here. Okay. Go to main menu. Yes. Yes. Okay. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We will not be racing in Hungary. Instead, we will be doing a little bit of multiplayer races. If there are still people playing this 2-year-old game. Take a sip. Bum, bum, bum. Belgium there, and then Hungary there. Okay. Weekly event, leagues, unranked. That's where the only people are. As of, oh geez, there's even less people here. Checking privileges. So, yep. Am I actually going to be in a car, or is it just going to go to, what you call it? I can't tell if I'm broadcasting to them. I'm gonna be quiet for a bit. Hold on. Hello. Right. Where am I? Okay. Sound coming through. Team and driver. This will be Pierre Gasly. Lobby. Ready up. I guess I'm not coming through. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm coming through. Racing in Austria. Here we go. Time to wait for more players. Yep. Guess I have to. Alrighty, let's go. That car over there is kind of glitching. Nope, not yet. What's that about? Put manual on? Dude, you coming up on the outside? What are you doing? Oh, jeez.
Don't worry about the start. We can still get a good result here.
Actually a pretty full lobby, surprisingly. My front wing is looking pretty good.
Okay, clear.
Oops. That was a dumb move on my part. Very dumb move. They're just gonna retire. Oof. Yeah. Not a great start, but okay, it looks like it's push to talk by default, so. I don't know what button it is to push to talk, so I guess we're in the clear. 17 DNF. Off to a bad start, but that's fine. This is an easy track too. Should be ashamed of myself. I can do better. Wait, finish was reset. Oh yeah, fine. Maybe when the race up pass. Impressive. Disqualified, or how he got disqualified. Pretty gnarly. I DNF'd because it's a five lap race and I couldn't get back on the track. My right wing was so damaged. Yeah, podium celebration. Whoop-de-doo. We got a lot of, there's only 2 Americans in here. Can't see the diversity of people who play this game. A lot in South America. Beep. Oh, we got another American in here. Let's stick with that Atari. Alright, let's see if we can actually finish this time. Okay, I think it only shows up if in the corner if I'm actually talking, so. Clutch release again. That threw me off. Yeah. Jesus. Oh my God. Monza? Everybody's ran into each other there.
Mind that front wing. It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage.
Oh, that crazy start. Oh, shit. Fuck.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Why am I going? Well, I'm all the way in the back now. Jesus. Ugh.
Yellow flag. Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Jesus. That's a race ruiner right there. Absolutely ruined my race.
That was a bad start, but don't overreact. We can salvage this.
Placing my tires? Oh, with other softs. Okay.
Go, go, go.
This guy's trying to make up some time. Trying to at least finish, really.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilize some of this energy.
No. No. Am I just a bad racer? Like, what is my deal? How do I keep spinning out like that? There's nobody around me. I'm like a full minute behind some people. Even with their penalties, it won't help.
DRS is now enabled.
Oh yeah, that'll do me a lot of good. See, I kept it in there. Just a bad racer. Tough turn to get around. That chicane. Out of energy store. Coda is the fastest lap.
This is your final lap of the race.
It's how close they are behind me.
Okay, gap ahead is 15.2 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not catching up to.
Caution, caution. The track is clear. Green flag.
Well, they're finished. It's the least you could ask for. Funny how that Haas driver is still up there. All the way down in 10th. Who admits? Okay, ready up. Oh, Spa. Oh no. Spa is hard to like compete with other people on. Definitely be thrown into the wall. Let's go. Racing in Spa. I might be in second. Oh no, I'm back in fifth. No, sixth. And Dave Veloster. That's about his name. Oh my god. That freaked me out. Oh no 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 no. Alright, collision with Hyundai Veloster apparently. Oh god. Oh god. This is not a fun hill to die on.
Okay, that's a good start. Keep it up.
No. Is my wing damaged? Yeah, it is. When did I fucking damage my wing? I have to give up a couple spots. I cannot compete with these fast cars. My wing is damaged. I'm losing significant speed.
Green flag.
Fuck. See if I can take him on. Not likely since I have a pretty damaged wing. Kind of make it work. Nope, nope. Almost just spun around in a circle there. was in first though. Give me credit for that. And I'm at least like in fourth right now. Out of 7, of course, but still. I'll take my win. All the way in the wet. Don't need to be in the wet. Oof. I had to really slow down there to keep it in line. Here we go. Oh, in the water. We need to be in the water.
Gap to teammate ahead is 10.2 seconds.
Oh, I still have a teammate. One of these players in front of me crashed, so I can
Yellow
go.
flag.
I manifested it. No, I didn't. Darn. I was about to say, I hoped one of the people in front of me had crashed so I
Our
could
gap
get
to the car in front is 4.3 seconds.
They're all having a pretty good race, it looks. I did! I manifested it, guys! There's
Okay,
a DNF
clear.
ahead of me. Now I'm in third. Guys, I did it. I'm gonna be on the podium. Ooh, and he's slowing down. Did he use up all his oil? All his gas? Seems like it. Oof. He's out in the wall.
This is your final lap of the race.
Tight turn, tight turn. Oh, I think he's having trouble with this wing. That's why he's going so wide. Join the club, buddy. I've also been going wide because I have a bad wing.
Caution, caution.
Green flag.
Green flag.
Oh, he's in fifth. There we go. We got second. I got second. A lot of DNFs. You guys going backwards. Second. Woo-hoo. Driver of the day, Coda. I think he won, didn't he? Yeah. Oh, fair play to him. She got driver of the day. Yes, there I am. Advance. We're gonna do one more race. And then we're gonna call it quits. AlphaTauri's, let's go. This is change to session options. First set up full. Oh, you turned on a qualifying? Yeah, it looks like you turned on qualifying. Sorry, I'm kicking the desk. Multiplayer one-shot qualifying. You get one lap to try to put in the fastest lap you can. And we're at Monza. Oh boy. This ought to be interesting. Let's go. Ooh, empty track. Oop, cut a corner. At least it's dry. Looking like a pretty good lap so far. See where we place. 121.7. Did we get pole? 8th. Yeah, no, far from pole. We're gonna be in the scuffle that hits into what you call it, into turn 1. Maybe I should try to go through that straight away and try not to be in that mess. Oh, maximum top speed. I have a little tiny wing. Even though it's a wet track, it's probably not the best idea. Oh, let's find out. Ah, fuck.
You need to slow down before hitting the corners. We don't want to get a penalty.
How bad are my wings? Oh, okay, so I think he turned the damage to minimal. So that would have fucked up my wings. traction whatsoever. Don't.
Keep pushing. Let's capitalize on that first lap.
No, no, we're not going off the track. Move, big wreck up ahead. Oh, he managed to pull it back in. Very nice. Running fifth.
Yellow flag. Okay, clear.
Why am I drifting off again? Ah. Nope, we're not spinning out. Keeping it together. Those Red Bulls pretty consistently on my tail. Gotta keep it in this line. Nope. Nope, not spinning out. Who's got DRS? Yeah, he got me. Good play, good play.
Okay, we've lost a position. That's us down a place.
It was a good pass, though. Good, clean pass.
We're trailing our teammate by 5.9 seconds. At the moment, the car behind us is lapping faster than us by around 1 second per lap.
Jeez. Really? That much? How fast you fucking going? I don't understand how I can go that fast. You'd probably up the mix. Probably put it to rich or something.
Green flag.
I mean, if they all put it in rich, then we're gonna have problems coming up right about now, really.
Caution. Caution.
Oh, that's a guy out. Oh, that's my teammate. We're in 5th right now. Under velocity.
This is your
Ariana
final lap,
retired.
final lap of the race.
Ooh, almost spun out there. I felt it. It's about to happen. We can fight to keep this place. Oh, he's coming in hot. Oh my god, dude. You gotta be kidding me. Why the fuck did you do that? Jesus. Fucking idiot.
Green flag. Green flag? We're racing again.
The 13-second penalty. Yeah, that's what you fucking get, dude. Jesus. I actually think I have time for one more. Driver of the day is the Hyundai Veloster. It's not a driver, it's a car. Whoever's the host is really liking these wet races, I'll tell you that. Like the second one in a row. Should I switch cars? I'm gonna try and switch cars. Shane has left the session. That was that guy who spun me out. Select team driver. I'm gonna try racing with the Mercedes. What do you do? Alright, let's go. Austria. Okay. Oh, Austria's so simple and we fuck it up so terribly. Qualifying, let's go. Hey, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Two disqualified already. Let's see, 106.5. It's pretty good time. We'll see where we land. Third, that's really good. Third is really good. For this one, heading into turn one, I want to grip the inside. I don't want to get caught out and knocked into. Always wet. He always wants it wet. Oh my god. Every fucking time. Every fucking time. Hopefully people will just continue to crash out up there. We're gonna make up some places. Aha! Looks like somebody already has.
Not the start we were looking for, but it's not over yet. Stay focused.
Stay in it. You have a whole like 30 seconds there, Jesus Christ. Cut corner, couldn't have it. Blue flag. Where's even a blue flag at? Oh my god. Did they turn damage back on? No. This is a really tight turn.
Okay, clear.
God, this Renault behind me is out for vengeance.
Caution, caution. Caution, caution, yellow flags ahead. No overtaking through the caution zone. Be careful until you see the greens.
We got another person. What you call it? Oh, did he DNF? He might have. Am I at P6 now? Lap 3 of 5. Lap 4 or 5. Come on, someone else, please spin out. Alright, turn it to Rich. And turn you over. Nope, wrong button.
Got that confirmed? This is your final lap of the race.
Oh, what I just did.
Yellow flag.
He spun out. Hyundai Veloster 1. Came in P5. Yellow flag. Yellow flagging at the very end. Alright, everybody. That's going to be it for me. I'm done today. I've got my capture card coming in the mail on Monday, so I'll be able to stream some PlayStation games and some Xbox games, Xbox 360. Yeah, we're going to go back in time. We're going to play some Xbox 360 games because there's a lot of games down there that I think people have just kind of forgotten that I would love to pick up and play again. So, anyway, thanks everyone for joining. I will see you all next time.